Hi everybody, this is John Wake with Arizona Real Estate Notebook. I've been putting this graph together for many, years now, and I just changed it to using Tableau, which is some online software to graph it out, and you can see the advantages of Tableau very easily when you mouse over. You can see the exact data point. This is a big improvement over the previous version, which I had was based on Excel, and then I just uploaded a flat graph, a JPEG or whatever it was that I put up. And so here you can see the numbers, very much more information for you to look at. This graph holds a ton of information on it. It only has 3 lines on it. The green line is the median price. This is for Metro Phoenix. And you can see I made this green to help you tie in that this is the axis that goes to the green line. And the red and the blue line go over to the other axis, when this is the number of homes either sold, which is the blue line, or for sale, or listed actually, which is the red lines. There are 2 red lines. This one, well, first I should say this gap in here was because there was an error. This is all this data comes from ARMLess, which is the Arizona Regional MLS. So the MLS, they were messing up the data in here. Also, this red line here, it was done differently, and there was a lot of they were miscalculating it. So here there was the error really was insignificant, but as the numbers got lower and lower, the error became very large. So then they started a new technique here, and so these numbers, this red line here, is correct. Okay, enough of the housekeeping. Let's talk about the market. Okay, let's start with the conclusion. This is the conclusion. The number of homes here in July listed for sale is 23,000. That is incredibly low. Look at that price. That's something like we would see 23 even, it's about then. So it was something we would see in 2004 or something we saw earlier in 2001. Very, very low inventory. And you got to realize that there's a lot more homes in Maricopa County or in the Phoenix MLS were built between here and here, so the number should naturally be higher. A little history back here, you can see that the prices were pretty flat, but that this is the number of sales took off. So that means that was just an increase in demand. People were seeing that their friends were making a ton of money on buying and flipping houses. So at every price level, people wanted to buy more homes, and then the inventory started to fall. Maybe not exactly at the line, but it started to fall. And that's what kicked in the increase in prices. So it was the sales driving the lower inventory, driving the increase in prices. And then we got up to here where prices maxed out, and the inventory just skyrocketed for how many years was that? Oh, she's 1, 2, 3 years. The inventory was just skyrocketing, but prices didn't change because people were talking about home prices, and prices in general are sticky. They are hard to go down. So there was tremendous pressure on prices, but they're sticky and they weren't going down. Finally, the inventory got so high that there was capitulation and prices tanked for 2 years. And in this case, it was the declining price that was then pulling down the inventory. Over here, it was the declining inventory, which is pulling up prices, and the leadership changed to be you can see there's a dip, there's the bottom there at 118 in April, and then the bottom here on inventory was a few months later in August. And again, here the leadership was the decline in prices, and then you saw the decline of inventory. But at the same time, we're seeing, I think, people realizing that prices are not likely to go down a lot more. For example, up at the top, it took about 2 years before people realized, you know what, I better lower my price to sell it. So it took that much time for the mindset for the market to realize, and we may be in that same 2-year thing here when the 2 years is up, essentially. So now people have realized, okay, what? I guess the prices aren't going to go down anymore. And that was the big fear on the market is, even though the prices were good here, were they going to go down more? Dang, I'm out of time on this. I didn't even get a chance to look at this. Look, that's a nutty number of sales. Super, super high. If you have any comments, email me at john@johnwake.com. Take care, everybody.